And we're live! Yay! We're in Steph's kitchen. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream from home. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss it because it's kind of basic and sometimes I like to be basic. So I'm just waiting for you guys to come into the chat and yeah, make sure that it's public. So let's see if people are coming. Yes, people are coming. All right, so I just got home from a full day. Let's check the time here. It's like 5 something. Yes. And yeah. What's up, Jessica Torres? What's up, Deborah? I'm cooking from my kitchen. Now, I got a Ninja. A Ninja. And so for me, when I'm running behind, an easy way instead of using my skillet is to cook some ribeye in the Ninja. So I've already put some Himalayan salt up in that biatch. And yeah, don't forget to like up the stream as you guys are coming in, because I'm going to show you how I cook my ribeye. Doesn't that look delicious? It's grass-fed from a local ranch, right, Scott? So I love this thing. I friggin' love this air fryer. There's a lot of people that were on the fence about it, which that's the same as friggin' liver. So I'm going to put this ribeye up in here. Do you guys really think I was going to go and prepare a whole ribeye? No, we got to make things simple. Yes, honey. So I'm going to put it in here in my air fryer. If you guys are ever thinking about getting one, Ninja, it's on Amazon for $99 or something, or like $96. Here on the outside, they tell you how long to cook it. So I'm just going to start off with a 10-minute because I don't want to overcook this biatch. And then we're going to get into these freaking carnivore macros, right? All right, so let's do this. And then if I need to cook it more, I can. So we'll start off with 10 minutes, and here we go. There we go. And Ninja is going. Now, let's get this party cracking. All right. And switch this thing around so you guys can see me. What's up, everybody? Okay, gotta put this up here. Excuse my unprofessionalism here. Boom! Like my Johnny Carson background? All right, guys. So I don't see any comments. Or do I? Oh, yeah, here they go. You have the Ninja Foodie. There you go. It's perfect. Some people get like a slow cooker and a air fryer. Hola, Lauren. Okay. Sorry for the noise, but it's my Ninja cooking right now on camera. So, essentially, right now, I hate this expression, but it's true. I'm doing mostly carnivore. The only thing that I am eating, I'm not even doing the spices because I did carnivore for almost a year and I got used to just cooking with salt. And so I've kept it up. The reason why I stopped doing full carnivore was because of needing more potassium. I explained that in another video. People don't understand. Let's see. Swole, yeah, swole, right? All right. Now, the reason why I particularly decided to stop doing full keto carnivore is because I've been doing keto for 12 years nonstop with no refeeds. That means that I don't hold a lot of water because when you eat carbohydrates, the cells hold on to water, which holds on to your electrolytes. And when you're doing this for 12 years, the propensity for muscle cramps, benign heart palps, things of this nature, it's not a pretty sight. Okay? So for me, yes, in that marbled ribeye, we're going to have a lot of amino acids, and we're going to have things like methionine and CoQ10, and we're going to have a little bit of potassium in the actual leaner parts of that ribeye, and in the fatty parts, we're going to have the vitamin D, E, A, and K. But just fantastic, and we're going to get monounsaturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, and saturated fat, not just saturated fat, contrary to the idiots that think that steak is bad for you. Okay. Well, oh, Bart K's here. Oh, hey, Bart. What's up, Bart K? We know we love some Bart K. Now, Bart, is Bart here? I think I missed him before I start going into these keto macros. Oops. Did I miss Bart K being in this chat? Because I don't see. Yeah, okay. Bart is here. Okay. So, I'm sorry, guys. This is real quick. I'm trying to do this before the sun goes down in Cali. So, Bart, I know you're not like, thing is, Bart, people try to pitch us against each other, and I fell a little prey into that in the first years. Now I learned my lesson because I'm getting a little older. Somebody was like, Bart K says that, somebody say? Bart K says something about, oh, you can't have a lot of fat or something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, talk to Bart K about it. But Bart, you're here. Now, the reason why I went off of keto again was because of needing more potassium. I'm just reading the comment. Okay, keto breath is just do oregano oil and coconut oil pooling and then spit it out. And that'll help with that keto breath. Now, I decided to get my potassium from avocado. Because if I'm not on, and I don't do I have potassium citrate, but I don't like to do potassium citrate. I'm trying to get my potassium from real food, and the leaner meats weren't cutting it. So that's the reason why I added back avocado. I do not have a latex allergy nor a avocado allergy of any sort, so I'm riding the line of carnivore. And it's really out of convenience because cooking vegetables when you're a busy woman like myself, sometimes that just takes time, and I have to have my food be delicioso. Like, I'm really a foodie as far as making the food taste really good. So, for me, it's just convenient to not bother with spices, to not bother with a bunch of vegetables. Every time I buy vegetables, I don't eat them, so I'm just buying avocado. Today I bought salmon, and I bought lamb, and I bought 2 avocados and a ton of butter. So I thought I would go over the keto carnivore macros. Let's see here. Now, another thing that me and the guy who films my live streams typically, we're trying to figure out why, if I've been shadow banned. I haven't, right? It's just that my almost 100K subscribers, it's like 1% of you guys are getting the notifications. So I have to go and take my butt down to the YouTube studios and the people there and be like, yo, why aren't my people getting the friggin' notifications? Which is why I have such a low count and high subscription. Low count here on the live stream. So essentially, so I wanted to go over the keto carnivore macros. My whole purpose is to drive ketosis. A lot of people are asking me, Stephanie, why aren't all the other carnivore people talking about, ketones? And I say to them, because that's not where their focus is. Their focus is typically dealing with autoimmunity, digestive issues, skin issues, which is a big reason why histamine issues, leaky gut, SIBO, which is a big reason why a lot of you guys are even trying carnivore for those reasons. Oh, it's the same story with the other YouTubers? Really? I'm not alone, Deborah. You gotta tell me more, because I've been trying to research this whole thing. One of the other streams, somebody was saying that I was shadow banned, but shadow ban means that people don't get their subscriptions, you can't comment or like, and you can't monetize. Like, none of that's a problem. Anyway, so essentially, the different types of meats that you would do on a keto carnivore, and this is my application. I'm not going by any status quo, and Bart, I love you, but I'm not going by any, well, there's no studies on keto carnivore, so I feel pretty safe to say that. Let's see. Hey, Dylan. Every time I try something new over the years of doing this for 12 years, I've got a lot of people, especially I have a course page, right? So my keto course page, we do keto carnivore. Obviously we do keto omnivore. And we do low carb, high fat because I'm starting to realize people who are doing keto, and it's a very small amount, would do keto, just the standard keto, and they would develop hypoglycemia or they couldn't get rid of the keto flu. So then I was like, I need to create a low carb, high fat protocol for people to graduate themselves into keto, or people who are doing keto or carnivore whose families aren't going to do these diets, but they need to be more healthy. Then I've transitioned them into low carb, high fat. No, it's not just you. It has happened to many other. They have the exact same complaints. Yeah, it's kind of scary, you know, because you work so hard and then boom, people aren't getting their notifications, and it's kind of a headache. It really sucks. You'll see people with way less a subscriber count, less on the internet, and have more people on their live streams because their people are getting the notifications and mine are not. There are people that hit me up saying that they get the notifications 3 days later, so it's kind of scary. It's very scary, but I digress. So the keto, so I do all these different things, and so the people who want to do full carnivore, you don't have to if you don't have histamine issues. I'm going to answer these questions after I get through this you know how I titled this. So you might want to recycle that question. But people who should do the carnivore diet, particularly, right, are people with eczema, psoriasis, plaque psoriasis, histamine issues, leaky gut, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, diverticulitis, Crohn's, IBS. That really, and if anybody's got autoimmunity who's like not really sure what plants they can consume, then doing no plant matter whatsoever would fit under the umbrella of autoimmunity, plus a lot of digestive issues and sensitivities and histamine issues. The problem with doing a keto anything, it doesn't matter if it's carnivore or omnivore, is the problem with the thyroid and the adrenal function and your blood sugar. Now, these are facts. So when carnivore came around, I was skeptical. I tried it. I saw the benefits, but then I realized this has to be a keto carnivore protocol. And I was able to use my years of experience to mesh the two together to avoid this thyroid response. Now, my studies are the people I've worked with over the years and the people that I continue to work with. Yes, everybody's saying like up the stream. So yeah. So I'm doing a live from my apartment and I have 31 people. I would go live and have 200 people. So something's going on. And that was when I have much less of a subscriber count. But with that said, if you don't have any noticeable candida, histamine, hypoglycemia, thyroid, if you don't have any of these obvious symptoms, if you haven't been diagnosed, if you don't notice any of these things, you don't have to do carnivore. If you're doing any of this stuff for weight loss, I would check yourself and do it for overall health and not for weight loss, because now people are trying to do carnivore for weight loss. Don't do things for weight loss. A healthy body will find itself at the right weight for your age, your lean mass, your total health. It will know where to set itself if you are healthy, if you're living a healthy lifestyle. But know what is a healthy lifestyle for the individual, because people who think that there's a balanced diet, there's no such thing anymore, because everything that we put in our mouth, if you're not growing it yourself, or if you have damage already to the gut wall, if you're not slaughtering your own animals, then nothing is completely natural. So we have to find out what works for you. Some people with histamine issues, right, with low amounts of diamine oxidase production, which is an enzyme to take down or to get rid of the histamine, to take it down, these people could be eating the healthiest diet, but not be eating foods like, let's say, the ribeye. That ribeye was slaughtered. How long did it go from slaughter to my plate right now? Sort of counting the freezing process, because it was slaughtered, then it's frozen, then I'm unfreezing it right now. That ribeye I'm not going to finish tonight, because that's like a 12-ounce ribeye. And the bacteria growing on that, since it from slaughter, for people who've got high histamine, they can react to that. And that's the reason why experimentation is so important for every person. Now, we're very similar as far as our DNA goes because we're very similar to an ape. So from human to human, there's not big genetic variance. But with that, there is. But with that said, it really comes down to your epigenetics, how your body's been damaged, your parents, how everybody took care of their health until you were spawned. So these are the things that are important to consider when you're trying to figure out what types of carnivore foods. Should I do carnivore? Should I do keto carnivore? Should I just do low carb, high fat? So the people I prefer to do low carb, high fat who have severe hypoglycemia, which a lot of you do, or you have reactive hypoglycemia, postprandial hypoglycemia. People who've got thyroid issues, low T3, Hashimoto's or hyperthyroidism. I really prefer that you guys graduate yourselves into any type of keto protocol, as well as know exactly what your body's reacting to. So in terms of stress, in terms of gut health, in terms of your endocrine system, your reproductive system, the more you find out what's going on with your own individual health stamp, the more you're gonna, it's getting dark real fast and the lighting here sucks. The more you're gonna be able to make the individual choice with deciding what type of low carb dietary measure to take. This is the thing not really mentioned. Not everybody can eat the same food. Some people can eat pork and some people cannot eat steak or beef. So in the carnivore community, they're always like, oh, eat beef. I eat ribeyes all day long. Well, if you have an issue, if you've got high purines or if you've got high uric, can't deal with it, can't process the uric acid or purines, or if you have a histamine reaction to the beef, well, then you can't do beef. And then people don't know what to do. So they're forcing themselves to eat red meat when they have a hard time with it. Now, some people have hypochlorhydria, which is low stomach acid. They eat red meat. They're like, And so there are different reasons why people have to be careful. Sometimes with my clients, I'll have them eat minced beef because if they have hypochlorhydria and it's really difficult for them to consume a steak and they're not chewing their food enough, I'm like, mince it and eat it. Try to eat it slowly. There's all these little nuances that you have to consider when you do any type of dietary measure. Now, people are like, oh, so there's different diets for different people. Not really. There's different foods for different ailments according to the damage that you've created, right? Because some people can do this, but they can't do that. Some people can do ghee. Butter has a lot of amazing properties in it. It's got CLAs, it's got omega-3s in it, it's got the fat soluble vitamins in it. It's got a ton of amazing properties in it. But if you can't tolerate butter, it doesn't have a use. See, Bart says, hey, Steph. Come on the round table on my channel for this Saturday afternoon. We're talking about keto. Crap, Bart. Wait, you're in Australia. No, New Zealand. Because I just bought a horse, right? So I don't have a lot of time. So on Saturdays, I go there. How do I do this? Unless I ask the owner of the ranch to go into his house for a hot minute, and because I would love to, and connect his Wi-Fi, because my phone gets horrible service out there. What time, Bart? I'm in California. I know that I think Sydney, Melbourne is 17 hours ahead of LA. Do you know, because I don't know what time zone you are in New Zealand. I don't know if there's different time zones in New Zealand because it's not a big country. So do you know the time difference? So if you're doing Sunday, what time would it be Saturday, LA time? Better late than never, finally caught you live. Did you get a notification, Sherry? Just curious if you got a notification. 5 p.m. Okay, so 5 p.m. Eastern time is 3 p.m. LA time. Yeah, wait, Bart, you're on Instagram or Facebook? Because DM me, or I don't know how you set up. I don't know if you're using Skype, Google Hangouts. I don't think Google Hangouts, or if you're doing, what's that other one that people use to do a lot of people in a chat. I forgot what it's called. Zoom. Which one are you doing? Maybe you can just contact me privately and we can set it up. Yeah. Did I request you on Facebook? I can't remember. I think I did, Bart. Let me see. No notification for this one. Well, how did you know it was live, Courtney? I'm just curious. When are you using butter? Do you blah, blah, blah. Email you. Okay, your email. I don't know your email. How do I know your email, Bart? So, let's see here. Okay, so Denise got her notification. All right, so let's get back to the macros. People on the replay, chill, okay? It is what it is. I'm live and I enjoy interacting with the people that come into the chat. It's what it is. Okay, so the macros that I've come up with, and Mart's like, come to the round table. I'm really good now because I've learned how to not argue and let people have their own way of thinking because I don't care. You know, Bart, people are always like, debate this person. I'm like, why? Why? Or debate this vegan. And I'm like, why would I do that? You got the YouTube notification. Okay. So this is how I break it down. I want you guys first to understand, should you even do a carnivore, keto carnivore? I absolutely disagree with eating a bunch of ribeye because if I show you that ribeye, hold on, let me show you, there's not enough fat on it, even though it's fatty. Okay, so let me get a fork here. Let me tell you right here. Here we've got this ribeye, right? It's cooked now. Don't you love the air fryer? Look at that. It's got the steam coming off of it, right? So the marbling that you see, I can't like point to it because consult with you. What? Yeah, go to my website, Denise or Dennis. The fat on this ribeye, there's not enough. Look at that. It's a lot, but I'm not going to eat this whole ribeye. So the amount of fat that you would need to be ketotic, let me put this back in here. And I'm going to explain ketosis. Now, I use real people. And I've had people use glucometers over the years. And if you go back to my videos, you'll see glucometer. Now, blood glucometer is very interesting because it'll show your glucose and it'll show your ketones. Right now, I have my tech guy, the Greek guy. He's doing keto, so it's very interesting to use him. And we're going to do this all on camera. Why I'm telling you that too much protein spikes your blood sugar and gives you those keto flu symptoms through gluconeogenesis. And when you up the fat, and the reason why I came up with 200 grams of fat is because when people are at 120 and 140, when they would test with their glucometer, their ketones would waver, right? And their blood sugar wouldn't be stable. So the blood sugar ranges to be ketotic would be between a 69 and about an 83 max. Once that blood sugar, milligrams per deciliter, which is about, from about 3.5, no, it's not 3.5, so 3.9 to about a 4.5 in millimoles. So with that said, that once your blood sugar keeps climbing high and you still are a good ketone producer, those ketones become unviable because people still have hypoglycemic responses on ketones at a 2.5. So the ketone range is going to be through 1.5 to a 3.0. When ketones rise too high, it means they're not being used, right? So there's a sweet spot in the middle that you want the ketone range to be in the glucose range. Now here's the problem. You could have perfect ketones and perfect glucose and still have friggin' lethargy, exhausted, feeling tired, no energy, and then over time start to feel worn out because you can produce ketones and not use them. Then your blood sugar is not high enough to have any energy and there's no stored glycogen. So things are very precarious. And the reason, or the reasons why I find people not adapting is because they'll have leaky gut. They'll have borderline hypoglycemia. And so I start testing their blood sugar all day long to find out when the blood sugar starts fluctuating depending on what they do. So the glucose has to be, again, between a 69 to about an 83. People with their, and this is very unusual. This is through all the thousands of people I work with, 3,000 people over the years, with the amounts of people who have glucose in, let's say, the lower 60s or the 50s. It's very rare that these people don't feel like crap. It's very rare. So when I see those numbers, I get very worried that they're developing like really low levels of glucose. Shaky. I've had clients, I've had one woman in particular, she went to go and get her car washed and her blood sugar dropped in the 50s. She still had ketones, and she went to the bathroom, called her boyfriend and said, I'm on the floor, I'm shaking, I feel like sick, please come and bring something that's a carb. Which then he brought her, I think it was like chocolate, and shot her blood sugar up so high she started throwing up. So you can't just give somebody a lot of sugar when your blood sugar is that low. You have to do very, very graduate small amounts of slow burning carbohydrates and not go to straight sugar or juice. So the reason why, again, I've come up with this number between at a 200 grams of fat or higher is because people weren't producing enough ketones. As soon as people start adding more fat in, boom, ketones, because most people have their ketones between a 1.4 and lower. When your ketones are at a 0.5 to 0.8, people don't have the energy. They're not like, energy. People aren't dropping the weight. They don't have the energy. And all of these little details matter. So Stephen and Jeff Volek said that you can be in ketosis at a 0.5. What if your glucose is 95 and that's why your ketones are 0.5? Typically, when your glucose is not in the range that it should be, your ketones get driven low, or you're not eating enough fat. So enough days, like when people first do a sort of a ketogenic diet or keto carnivore, and they test their ketones and they're super high, and they're like, oh my God, it's so amazing. When you start getting into the second month and your dietary fats aren't high enough, you will see those ketones drop. And then people get stressed out because they feel tired at a 0.8, at a 1.0, a 1.2, and they start feeling better around a 1.8. And this is the reason why I said between a 1.8 to 3.0 in ketones, that's when you start to see people pop out of this keto flu, meaning they're starting to use ketones. Now, you can have your glucose be in the 90s, and you can have your blood sugar fluctuate throughout the day and be a great ketone maker. And at certain parts of the day, you feel great. And in certain other parts of the day, you're having hypoglycemic symptoms. So this is the reason why we have to be careful for everything that we do. Now, I was in the gym the other day and this kid was screaming at me. Yeah, diabetics can do keto all day. I was at the gym and this kid's like, keto's dangerous. You should be ashamed of yourself to teach. I just hate all these keto gurus. I go, them people have nothing to do with me. In fact, what I prescribe, nobody else prescribes at all, like zero. I don't know anyone else who goes, eat over 200 grams of fat and get your protein moderate to low. And then do all these exterior things like take your magnesium, make sure you have your electrolytes, follow a circadian rhythm, diaphragmatic breathe, go to sleep by 10, use like nobody does any of this kind of stuff. Or consider the thyroid and, okay, your blood sugar's all over the place, your hair starts falling out. Let's pull back on keto, let's drop your fats a bit, and let's create diet around your lifestyle, including how fast or slow that you chew your food, if you're working out or not. All of these things matter, the timing of your foods, especially people with adrenal insufficiency. So diabetics type 1 and type 1 and type 2 all day keto. Like, get on it. Like, what are you waiting for? Especially if you're type 2. But how you do this is very important. If you were to go and just eat a bunch of ribeye, there's not enough fat there. I'm not going to eat that whole ribeye to get that 60 or 70 grams of fat. That's too much protein, and that too much protein, my little tummy is not going to break down enough to use all of that. So my body's going to start converting some of that protein into glucose. Det finns någon från Sverige som säger så bara att keto Bibeln aldrig kommer av den här kanalen och hatt och tråkig. Du säger jag är tråkig, eller hur? Jag förstår inte vad du försöker att säga. Så kanske finns en annan svenska människa som kan hjälpa mig. ELFL. Okay, so here we go. What are your thoughts on pescatarian keto diet? There's not, like, stop all of this stuff. There's, you either adapt keto or don't. There is no like cyclic or targeted or, high protein, low fat keto. There's no like, keto products and keto shake keto. There's no beta hydroxybutyrate salts keto. There's either you're adapting or not according to what's going on with your body. Most people do intermittent fasting and all these diets besides carnivore. Carnivore seems to be pretty clear that you have some kind of issues, right? You have some kind of inflammatory response or some type of histamine response. It's pretty clear. But everybody else does it for weight loss, which I can't stand because you guys aren't going to lose weight trying to do stuff for weight loss. You can't shortcut yourself into a leaner body. You have to do all the things. You have to go to bed early. You have to exercise. You have to this. You have to that. You have to rotate your foods if you've got histamine. Seafood, keto, herring, salmon, shrimp. No. None of those foods have enough fat. And then salmon does not have enough of all of the fatty acids that you need to freaking keto adapt. It just doesn't. It's great with omega-3s, but no, there's not enough saturated fat and cholesterol and from salmon. So no, don't do fish keto. Why? Why would you do that? You need meat. You need red meat, right? You need the heme iron. You need all of these things. You need your fat soluble vitamins. You need all of these things. And especially you need red meat to get that stomach acid production going, that caloric acid, because a lot of you guys have issues with parasites and candida overgrowth. And with pooping. Keto changed language. Okay. No, somebody was saying something in Swedish to me, and I was just responding and reading what they're saying. Was you just eating a lamb belly? Yeah. Do you on what IGP page I can follow? Yeah, my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. So I post every day in the stories. I need to get on my wall and post everything I cook. It's just kind of hard to do everything. You need high fat, lower your protein. Yes, so high fat. So between two. So when I first did keto, I did 400 grams of fat, and I'm 5'3". What? 163 centimeters. 63? Yeah, I think that's right. And I felt a lot better because I was going through hypoglycemia when the fats were lower. My fats were too high, and I ate the wrong kind of fat. So a lot of it's experimenting until you start to get things right, which is the right numbers on your glucometer, glucose, ketones, and you feel good with that together. That's how you know you're in ketosis. So I'm very, very careful with bone broth because of people who've got issues with the glutamate in the marrow and also the oxalates from like tendons and from the collagen. So now I start to prescribe meat broth because of getting more of potassium that you need. I think bone broth became such a trend, and I really prefer that people do organ meats as the primary. So I would do thymus and kidney for diamine oxidase production. I would do liver as a superfood, especially to get, and trachea and spleen have high amounts of vitamin C in it. So you guys don't have to just run to the bone broth now anymore. Plus it just tastes like raw. It smells like rotting corpse anyway. And meat broth is like fabulous. Don't forget to like up the stream, guys. Don't forget to like up the stream. There's 49 people in the house and only 28 likes. What's up? I don't check to see who's liking, but hopefully it will help the algorithm of this very like screwed up system to have more visibility so you guys can see the notifications when they go off. So I think I'm gonna go to some of your guys' questions because as you can see the sun's going down and the light's really crappy and I need to eat my ribeye. And Deborah's typing how to like up the stream, and thank you, Deborah, for moderating this chat. Let's see here. Keto change the language. Seafood. No, I'm Nordic and tend to do well with meat, but would you consider moderate protein for someone who's like 6'3" and 100? What? Do you mean 6'3" and you're 150 pounds? No. You are not 6'3". No, that can't be right. I think you got those numbers wrong. You can't be 6'3" and 150 pounds. Is that right? Your thoughts on pescatarian? I think it's, sorry, Dr. Said. Sorry, I just really know that fish has a lot of bacteria that grows on it. A lot of people with histamine issues. And if you're doing like seafood keto carnivore, that's not a very good idea, because people who do carnivore have histamine, typically have histamine issues, and fish with all that bacteria is severe histamine reaction, which a lot of people don't know that they have. See, what cookies I Ribeye tonight from Trader Joe's. Okay, here we go. I do all three. I do Celtic salt, which is a gray salt from France, and real salt, Redmond's real salt, and I do the Himalayan salt from Pakistan. What fats other than butter do you do? So I do tallow, guys. No, I sit there and eat beef tallow. I can show you. I can show you. La 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 la. Hold on, let me get my tallow going on here. So I like to just, when I'm in a hurry and I don't have time, I just like to, so this is bison tallow. So right now my jam really is the bison tallow and the butter. Now I really love lard too. What's up? Bison tallow is like thick. It's going to be very hard, let me tell you right now, to talk and eat this stuff. Yeah, lamb belly all day. I love lamb. You're writing 6'2" wrong. Big 6 fluctuate between 150 pounds, 160. Skinny, but don't look that abnormal. I think that's to you, Dylan. I'm not going to lie. You're 150 pounds. You are skinny as F. What was your original question, by the way? You need to up that fat, like, big time. Because I'm eating around 220 to 270 grams of fat a day. Now, I go through a whole block of Kerrygold, which is 227 grams of fat a day. And then I'll munch on this stuff, which it's about 14 grams of fat per tablespoon. And I eat it like it's like peanut butter. It gives me acne. Exactly. Sometimes beef gives people acne. And sometimes pork does. Depends what type of screwed up gut you have. It's not that these foods give you acne in general. So for the people who are like, what? Pork gives you acne? No. It does certain things to certain people with certain issues. No. You're a woman? 0.8? 0.8 per pound of, what do you mean? 0.8 of protein per pound of protein? Okay. We're talking about body weight? Oh, your doctor put you on keto today. That's awesome. Source of high vitamin D foods on carnivore diet. You can get it from egg yolks. You can get it from butter. You can get it from any fat soluble vitamin, really. Anything where there's a lot of fat, you're going to get vitamin D in there. But butter, yolks, beef and chicken liver. I prefer beef because you're going to get more nutrient density in beef over chicken, but chicken liver is still good. Almond milk. Almonds are baby plants. Baby plants like to mess up you big time because they're very smart by design. Nuts are very hard to digest. They hit your small intestine and they begin to, with the phytates, the phytic acid will uptake a lot of the minerals that you're trying to get into the system to make your body balance. Then you're supposed to walk over there and poop it out so that plant can grow again. So indigestible, you demineralize your body. Why would you drink that almond milk? Why? I don't understand. I don't. It's got oxalates times a million. Hell no. Hail to the nut. Some people don't tolerate rendered fats other than butter. So do you? Actually, that's a very general statement. That's not true. It's very unusual that somebody can't do any lard or any tallow. It's either one or the other. That's typical. It's very rare that somebody can tolerate butter but can't tolerate rendered fats. That's very, very, that's like, I've never even seen that. So note. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, these cholesterol numbers don't mean shite, right? Forget about the triglycerides, forget about cholesterol, forget about your HDL, forget about all of that, right? Because I could go and eat high fat and go get my cholesterol checked and my total cholesterol is going to skyrocket, which is, I've done that before. If you're so worried about heart disease, people, because I've been doing this 12 years, I don't care about my numbers. According to my numbers, I need friggin' to be on statins. What you need to do is check your friggin' blood pressure, right? Really good sign of coronary artery disease. Check your blood pressure and you're still worried, get your calcium score, right? And if you're so worried, get an MRI. If you're so worried, get a CT scan. Okay? You guys forget about these stupid tests. Doctors often are freaking idiots. They get a lot of stuff very confused, especially from the days of Ansel Keys and the lipid hypothesis. I can tolerate the taste of the pastured finished rendered tallow, but the pastured finished rendered lard is strong tasting. Okay. Then eat the tallow like me and enjoy it. That's in lamb belly. I said, of course, eat the lamb belly all day long. Pork belly, lamb belly, it's really fatty. It's got that vitamin D in there. Okay. I am. Hi, keto queen. Yes. So, keto carnivore, the same as keto omnivore. 200 grams of fat or higher. Now, can you gain weight on 200 grams of fat? Sure. Blood sugar's high, insulin's high. Go get it if you want to check why you're gaining weight. Check your thyroid. Now, the test can be very inconclusive, so you'd have to do a couple of thyroid panels and check your history of your symptoms. Now, if you're trying to here's the thing, keto is designed to sort of work like fasting because you can drop your insulin on it, which is a hormone that's going to help you store fat, especially if you've got inefficient fat cells and high blood sugar and you're insulin resistant, you're going to start storing fat. And so people will start dropping their fat, eating a lot of protein, then their thyroid starts freaking out. I know this because I work with people all the time because they're not ketotic and they don't have any stored glycogen. Their glycogen storages are so low. And people are still off going to their jobs and going to the gym early in the morning and doing fasted cardio and crashing and having hypoglycemia, and the hair starts falling out. So don't do keto to lose weight, not in the beginning, because if you can regulate your insulin, become insulin sensitive, and develop good GLUT4 receptor development, and sleep and rest and diaphragmatic breathe and methylate and all this kind of stuff, you won't gain weight. Like I sit there can eat fat all day long. You guys can see how fat I am over the years of wearing stupid sports bras on these channels. This channel is to show you. You know, I started talking about this in my 40s and now I'm in my 50s and you guys can see I'm not falling apart. And we're live. So there's no editing, there's no face tuning, there's no body tuning. This is real me in my freaking shoebox apartment with my Johnny Carson background. Yes, so don't forget to, if you guys need a consultation, if you want me to help you guys, because now I got this. I can do this stuff, spinning on my head, blindfolded, and not knowing which direction, and spinning and not knowing which direction I'm in, because I've just worked with so many people over the years, and I have even the Greek guy, I said, Greek guy, this is what's going to happen, and what happened with the Greek guy is happening, and each week we're going to follow his progress, and I'm going to show you guys how to get his blood sugar in balance and his symptoms in balance. I hear people say the excess protein converts to pyruvic acid, and they just justify more than 100 grams of protein. Thoughts on pyruvic acid? What are you saying? That it what? Excess protein, you meant converts to pyruvic acid, and then they justify more than 100 protein versus glucose. So what are you talking about? Pyruvic acid for into the Krebs cycle? Like, contextualize the comment, because I don't have any comments on it. I can only tell you that if your protein is high, and you can test anybody, watch your glucose spike when you're eating a lot of protein. Just watch. Watch your ketones go, okay? And then watch your energy go down. So all of these theories of pyruvic acid, and you need to justify eating over 100 grams of protein, and you can't lose weight if your fats are too high. These are all things that people talk about. Well, let's make it applicable to real people, right? Let's take 200 people, let's apply this ideology, and let's see the results. So I don't care what people say. I only care the results that I get from all the people that I work with. That to me is the most important, because there's too many talking opinions about the body, boop, 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 including myself. Boop, boop. A1C typo. I don't remember what you were saying about A1C. My A1C was 4.5. That's good. That's a really good A1C. Do you know what your A1C was before you tried keto? Which would be very interesting. My A1C is 4.5. I don't know what's going on. Retracted? Okay. I don't know why the comments are retracted. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, there's people on the replay. Something's going on with the chat. I don't know. I have no clue. My A1C is 5.3. Not too great, right? It's not bad. If you're not over a 5.6, it's like what would people, doctors, you got to understand, you can't say my A1C is 5.3. What did it start with? Was it higher? Was it 6.0? Was it 7.0? Because if you went down to 5.3, that would be really good. Is A1C at a 5.3 ketotic? Not really. But if you started off with a higher A1C, then that would be great. I think Dawn might be having technical difficulties. Oh, okay, gotcha. Or Denise. Gotcha. So you guys, I run a keto course. You can sign up for it at stephanieperson.com. And I work my butt off for it. Trust me, I worked today on today's course lesson. And I'm going to do a part 2 and a part 3. I do many consultations there, and I do weekly course lessons, a bunch of stuff. Basically consumes my life outside of my horse. And it's so funny because I'm not a horse person, but I've become one. I promise you I won't be like the crazy cat lady, I swear. But I needed a reason to connect with nature. I live in Los Angeles, and I was like bugging out. I was like today I rode my bike, and I rode by, I'm not lying. I rode by 7 tents on a main street that I always ride. Those tents weren't there before. It's like, I don't even know how pedestrians get past all of the tents and the garbage and the Doritos and the piss and the crap and everything that they leave on the sidewalk. It just behooves me. We're having a real homeless population problem. Keto grow my hair long. Keto grew your hair long? I want to stop losing my hair and eyebrows. I'm having, Denise, sounds like you have a little issue with your thyroid. You might want to contact me, go to my website, stephanieperson.com, and book a consultation. I've got different consultation rates. So sitting down with people, you guys know I'm 52. I'm going to be turning 53 soon. right? In 6 months, I'll be 53. 53, menstruating woman, full natty, boom. And I've been doing this thing for 12 years. I haven't refed. I haven't had coffee. I don't have wine. I don't have cheese, nuts, carbs, blah, 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 blah. And I can tell you what exactly is a problem. I've now working with people for 6 years now. And I can tell you what the problem is. It's the electrolytes. You have to be on your electrolytes on any of these dietary measures. I have a friend, and I think I should do another live about this. I met her, right? She doesn't do keto. Oh, she tried keto a while ago, but I met her 33 years ago. She was dating a skateboarder. I met her in freaking France, okay? I was at a skateboard camp in Bourges, right? Bourges, I don't even know how to say it right. A little bit south of Paris. And we went to, one of the guys like, my girlfriend's coming in from LA. And I met her there, and 33 years later, we are friends. Like, we kept running to each other in different parts of Europe. Very, very, very weird. But we haven't seen each other in like, I don't know, like 7 years now. Like, we see each other like every 7-8 years. And so I went to see her, and listen to this, you guys. She told me that she had a stroke. I was like, what? She's a year younger than me. I was like, what, Erica? I said her name, but you don't know her last name, so it doesn't matter. Oops. Okay. Anyway, I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I was magnesium deficient. And I was like, oh, snap. I'm so glad that I get my magnesium, take magnesium every day, and transdermal magnesium every day, the glycinate and trans every day. Because when you do anything that's low carb, you got to get your electrolytes in. That's the biggest problem from doing this for years and years and years and years. And no one else can say that unless they do it years and years and years. You can't sit there and be like, well, this person says that and this person says that, until they do it themselves. You're 53 and still have my parathyroid problems, need your help. Yes. I mean, to be honest, just book a consultation, because I don't think I can help you much here on this live stream. So you have to supplement for you have to, because our soils have been over farmed. They've been demineralized. So that's why we don't have foods high in magnesium anymore. You know, you're not going to get enough inside the meat. You're not going to get enough inside of the liver. And unfortunately, when you do low carb, you aren't holding on to those electrolytes when you used to, as to when you used to eat a lot of carbohydrates. Swell up with water, hold on to more electrolytes. Don't swell up with water, drop the water via the kidneys, and boom, your electrolytes go down, and muscle cramps, benign heart palps. And we don't want you people to develop heart issues from going years and years and years with magnesium deficiency, amongst a lot of other problems. There are no normal organs that are rich in magnesium. No, sorry. You have to supplement it. I'm not a big supplement pusher, but there are some things that can be beneficial, like kidney, thymus, ancestral. You guys know that, of course, it's the only affiliate program that I have, and I've been, over the years, been contacted by, I don't know, hundreds. And I've said no to every single one except Ancestral, because they do everything from brain to tail, including tallow and balls and spleen, adrenal, kidney, thyroid, like all the organs. Thanks, Deborah, for, kind of pushing her to consider a consultation. A lot of people think about it and they're like, no, I'm just going to do it on my own. And then they have problems with it. So with your health, you want to do this the right way. You can do the low carb the wrong way. You can frack yourself up. And I really mean it. Right? All right, guys, it's totally dark. My ribeye is cold. And I thought I would just do a quick live stream from home. And thanks, Bart K. I got to find out what your email is, because I have no freaking clue. Maybe you have it on your channel in your show notes. I don't know. I do go to the horses on Saturdays. I have some particular questions for you, but we'll wait till I have the money for a consultation. In the meantime, I'll start eating that tallow piece stuff. Awesome! Was it Dylan? Thank you. That's awesome. So I need to get back to it. I have a lot of work to do. About a lot of stuff I'm going to be live streaming on Wednesday. So for those who want to know, live streaming Wednesday, I think we start around 3 or 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which Eastern Standard Time would be 6 or 7 p.m. and Central Time would be 2 hours ahead of LA. And for people in Australia, that would be your morning time. People in Europe, unfortunately, will be asleep and have to watch the replay unless they stay up really, really late, because there's a 9-hour time difference from Los Angeles. And on that note, it's time for me to go. Ha ha ha. Hiroshio, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Awesome. As usual. Was it horse lover here? Yeah, I mean, I can't. Look, you guys, I wasn't planning to buy a horse. I really wasn't. I went to this ranch that's I'm very lucky. It's literally a 20-minute drive from my front door, which it's not very far. It's 13 miles. And I just was going to lease a horse and like have a little fun. And I just kept walking by this one horse that's like, hey, yo, come over here. And I was like, oh, aren't you a smart horse? Dang. And then after that, I asked the owner, can I try to ride him? And he said, and I quote, at your own risk. And I was like, I know this horse has a lot of issues, but I just want to see. Now everyone's like, that's not the same horse, because I'm crazy. I'm determined. My time has gone down to this because I go there 5 days a week to train this horse. And it's beautiful watching him change. And I get to be outside the whole day, which is what I need to get away from the homeless camps of Los Angeles. I'm just saying. All right, guys. Time to go. Thank you so much, Deborah, for always having my back when you can, or when you get the freaking notifications. Good, you got a horse. Yeah, it's been a really good experience. I'm not like a crazy animal person. I just love everything that's included with dealing with animals, communicating with them, and being outside. It's really about making a connection and being more connected to nature, and less on the phone, and less on social media, and less on all this nonsense. And I don't know, Barkay, if you're still around, but I would follow what everybody was doing before on the internet, and now I don't even have time for it. It keeps me out of the loop, but I've been on the internet for so many years, I kind of get bored. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, and Deborah says, everybody have a great evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining this chat. Don't forget to like up the stream, people on the replay. And my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook page is Stephanie, which is free content. Stephanie, as in douche the business, boom, person. And or you can stay right here on YouTube. And this is my bag. I'm off topic, but I look like Santa Claus every time I go to the ranch. I was like, I'm tired of having 20,000 different bags. I'm just going to stick everything in this huge bag, this laundry bag, tote it on me, and take it to the ranch. But thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening. And I guess for anybody else who's over in the down under, have a great day. And people who are in Europe and Asia, if you're in Asia, you're going to have a great morning and all that jazz. I've got a herd now. They're a lot. Oh, is it? Where are you from? Ransom was here. Where are you from? I would love to have a herd. I just want to be outside, you guys. I don't want to be inside anymore. I'm over it. Even with my friggin' melasma, just gone away, as you guys can see. I don't want to be freaking inside anymore. I don't want to be in my car anymore. I don't want to be in the gym building anymore. Like, why don't we have an outside area of my gym? Yeah, I love going to the gym, but I'm in a freaking building. It drives me insane. I don't want to go. I ride my bike, but I don't enjoy all this city life garbage. I don't. There's benefits to it, and the downsides are the city life And so when I go to the ranch, it's literally just land. Land, 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 land. And I love it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining this live stream. It's almost 6 o'clock here in the evening, Los Angeles time. And I just appreciate everybody who takes the time to come here and ask questions and get involved and try to learn. And yeah, I know. I just got to figure it out. Like, somebody's like, oh, next stop is your farm. I'm like, do I move out of California? Do I move to Texas? But I don't like Texas. But the land is cheaper. But, you know, I love California, you guys. I was born here. I was born in Los Angeles. I freaking love California. Like, I've traveled all over the world many, 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 many times. If you go back to my old videos, you see me in Iceland, South Africa, and Egypt, and freaking Europe, and Asia, and all the South America, and Ecuador. And I've been all these places. And every time I come back home to LA, I'm like, yo, that's what's up. I love it. I'll never, ever get tired of California, ever. And I lived in Europe, you guys, almost 16 freaking years of my life as a professional skateboarder on vert ramps. And every time I come back to Cali, I'm like, oh, I love it. It's the best, but it is expensive as all freaking hell. It's expensive. And so that's why I'm like, if I want to have horses, Colorado, Texas, I don't like those places at all. But I digress. Thanks everyone for coming here. If you want me to talk about any particular subjects, just write it in the comment section and I'm out. Bye guys. I've got some energy. 12 years on keto, no refeeds, 52 going on 53, and I'm still loving it, and I'm out. There's no gangs here. I'm sorry. I have to say, don't take it personal. That's dumb. There ain't no gangs here. Yo, there is no gangs here. There's just a bunch of tourists. It depends on what area you're in. I am not living in the hood. There's no Crips and Bloods anywhere where I am. You need to chill. Chill, bruh. There's no gangs. Oh, the gangs! There's no gangs here. There's 30 million people in Los Angeles if you combine all the counties. That takes 2 hours to drive across. There's no gangs where I'm living. When I walk out my door, there's tourists like taking pictures of like stuff that I'm like, why are you taking a picture of that? So dumb. Anyway, bye guys. Officially, goodbye. Don't forget to like up the stream. And I'm out.